Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? Happy Friday! Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's doing very, very well. Without any further ado, let's get my fat head on the screen and see how we are looking today. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Hope everyone is having a good week. Hope everyone's getting ready for the weekend. Getting ready, getting prepped. Get your prep work in on a Friday so you can enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. Isn't that the trick? Fridays don't mean anything anymore. Fridays have lost all meaning. It used to be a thing that Fridays were special. Fridays were the best day of the week when I was in corporate, because you just had that beautiful Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday to look forward to. Sunday evening, I got the absolute fear of God, but that's a topic for another discussion. Topic for another day. That's one of the benefits as well of doing something that you actually like, is that you don't get that clustered pit of fear in your stomach on a Sunday evening as you look forward to another 5 days of unstimulating torture. Although maybe that's what maybe that's what crypto trading is for some of us. Who knows? Who knows? What's up, Beer Like? Good to see ya. What's up, Sis, my man, in the chat nice and early. Happy Friday, legends. Likewise. Yes, we are live. We are live on my X, Kraken Pro X, Twitch, my Twitch, and the Kraken YouTube. What's up, Liquidado Crypto? How you doing, sir? What's up, Nico, mi hermano? ¿Cómo está? Marquis in the chat, nice and early. Let's go. What's up, Nine Manny? You're here for a good time, not for a long time. Well, hopefully you can stay for an hour at least. What's up, DJ and Gambler? Good to see you. What's up, Finchy, my bro? Happy Friday, DJ and you too, bro. What's up, Phil Ninja, my man? GM. How we doing? How we doing? What's up, Bullet Felix? It's Foolish. He's here. He's live in the flesh. What's up, Micro Sailor? How you doing? Osbra with the 5 gifted. Let's go. Appreciate it, Osbra. How you doing, sir? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Thanks for the 5 gifted. That's going right into the streaming fund, into the streaming slush fund. We're gonna put it to good use. even though Twitch takes what, 50% of it, 60% of it. Who knows anymore? The negative cost basis of running a stream is real. Foolish live in the flesh, exactly. What's up, Micro Sailor? How you doing, sir? What's up, Veslin? Good to see ya. What's up, Sawyer? Fridays are a social construct, yeah. Friday is leg day for you, maybe. I did legs on Wednesday, I think. And now that I'm old and my knees are in bad shape, my leg day is like, it might as well be Pilates. I'm at that point in my life now where I'm gone from, my goal has gone from, yeah, I want to lift as much weight as possible, to, yeah, I'd like to have functioning knees when I'm in my 70s. there's a shift that happens sometime in your 30s. It's ahead of you guys, for most of you, or maybe some of you have experienced it already. What's up, Skipolith, my bro? How you doing, sir? What's up, Trader Level? Neil Donegal, hello, bro. I don't know what that means. Maybe your name is Neil Donegal. Shout out my Donegal bros if there are any in the chat. Donegal. Just out of curiosity, what's the sleep schedule been like? It's not great. It's not terrible. I'm still getting 6, 7 hours. 6, 7, 8 hours a night. But it could be better for sure. I'm still going to bed very late. The thing is, I work late. And I find it very... For me, there's a period between like midnight and 4 a.m. when things are pretty quiet. It's the Asia session. There isn't much happening in the charts. The server's a little bit more quiet. The stuff at Kraken is a little bit more quiet because a lot of those guys are in European or US time zones, so there's less messages flying back and forth. So it's like, it's a little bit calmer in my life, and it means that I can actually sit down and do some work. If I need to work on some stream stuff, if I need to work on some Discord stuff, right? If I need to prep some content for X or some video stuff, right? It's like the world is quieter and I can really get some good, like, deep work done. But the disadvantage of that is that it keeps me up until 4 or 5 a.m. Now, I will say, I you know, I'm not getting up at the crack of dawn. I usually sleep in until quite late. I usually try and get, you know, 7 hours off that, 6 hours, but probably not the best. Probably not the best habit. But I've always been a bit of a night owl, so I think there's a certain amount of, like, you know, you can only resist it so much before you just kind of, you just maybe, I don't know. There's an element of, like, listening to my body as well, you know. If I haven't fixed it at this point in my life, then maybe it's just, maybe that's just what my body likes. Because I've been like that since I was in school, man. I used to study late at night. In college, I used to do assignments late at night. And now that I'm basically, you know, doing my own thing out in this big, scary world, I do that, a lot of that thing late at night. Osmer says I'm the best crypto streamer. That's too modest, man, because I've seen you kill it. I've seen your numbers nice and high these days. I'd love to see your continued success. Have I seen the fuckery around Leopold? Yes, I did. We're 17 minutes out from the from New York Open, and we're gonna get the bell. I got the bell ready today because we missed the bell all this week. We missed it on Friday. We missed it on Monday. That's not happening today. I'm gonna make a bell command if necessary, so you guys can remind me. Bullish or bearish New York Open first. I'm gonna give you guys 15 minutes. First M30 candle. There you go. There you go. So yeah, the prediction is in. I look good, no homo. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's what happens when you stay up till 4 a.m. You get you get magic rejuvenation happening in the skin cells. Functional training is better than strength training. Yes, I agree. What's up, Scott Chroma, my bro? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. You saw a picture of Follis and Felix yesterday. We were looking fine. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I think that's AI. We're gonna jump into the charts in 60 seconds. Let me just catch up on the chat. M30 prediction. Yes, sir. We got it. It's live. That's good. Take care of yourself. We need you this Q3 and Q4. So Follis needs to look after his knees so that he guides you guys through Q4. I'm glad you guys have your priority right. Not so that I can continue to walk and have functional legs into my 60s and 70s. It's so that I can guide you through Q4 when the market bottoms. I like that. Going to bed before midnight has a significant effect on sleep quality. There you go. Yeah, I'm sure it does. I don't deny that my schedule is probably not optimal, but like I said, it works for me. I'm Leopold with Mustache. So yeah, I want to talk about that for a second. Maybe let's jump into the charts as we come to 15 minutes out from NYO. The big NYO, last one of the week. I also, in some very exciting news, I loaded up through, just because I felt like it. The whimsy struck me and I loaded up a Kraken prop account. I bought one. Here's one for you. You know what? Actually, while this waits, we're gonna jump back in here when New York is close and we're gonna talk about Leopold. But in the meantime, let me jump over here. So I don't mind saying it. I don't mind saying it. I bought a Kraken Pro account. This is not a test account. This is a live account. The head honchos, the top brass at Kraken Prop actually gave me a test account. And they said, do you want to test out some things on stream? And I said, no, I can't be trading a test account. So I bought it. I bought it with my own cashish, and this is live. We have not taken any trades. I just bought it last night at like 4 a.m. But yeah, this is, if I can find, yeah. So this is the, I don't know if you guys see that. We have an affiliate evaluation, which is basically like a test account. But the advanced evaluation, that is a live account. And when I say live, I mean it's still in the evaluation phase. But yeah, we're going to try and take a few trades on this. I haven't been funded in like a year. Last time I was funded was on Breakout. And that was, yeah, mid-2025. Now, to be fair, I haven't done much prop trading since then. But I did get funded. I think you guys remember that. I think I got funded live on stream. We got funded for 100K, something like that. So yeah, you can see here our total equity on the advanced account. We got 100K. I went for the, I was looking at it. I went for the advanced account Because I think it makes sense to me. It's basically a 3-hour trade. You need to get to 109, and your stop loss is 97, right? So that's the way I'm looking at it. It's like if you wanted to do it with 3 bullets, you have 3 1K bullets, and you're just looking for an average return of 3 to 1, right? If you wanted to do it all in one go, which I don't recommend, it's a 3-hour trade. You're risking 1 unit of risk, and you need 3 units of risk. That's the way we're going to be looking at it. So yeah, happy days. I'm excited. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So we shall see. We shall see how I do. I think that I'm not going to limit myself to just trading on stream. If I see something off stream, I'll jump into that as well. And then we might review when we get back on camera. But yeah, I'm excited. Kraken prop, for those who don't know, it's the same backend as Breakout. So same pair choices, same liquidity engine, same trading engine. The front end is obviously Kraken Pro, which for many of you that'll be an advantage. So yeah, happy days, happy days. Can you get an account too? Yes, magic accounts for all. You're about to try Kraken prop properly. Yeah, well, this is my first time trading on it, so we shall see how it goes. See if I can get funded. Would I like to grab dinner? Always, Micro Sailor, always. Never trade after you fall asleep and before you wake up, right? That's good advice. Take it easy, 9 Manny. Do I think the All Blacks will win against the Box tomorrow? No. Box playing at home. No. No, I don't think it'll be it's 3 matches, isn't it? Or is it 2? 3 or 2? I don't think it'll be a clean sweep. I mean, the All Blacks might get 1, but the Bockies playing the Bockies at home, man. What's up, Tech Wall? Yeah, let's jump back and look at New York Open. I want to talk about Leopold. So I actually made a post about this on X last night. It's the big news of the I guess I can show you on this screen. It's the big news of the day, the big news of the week. Yeah, I hope you guys can see that. So yeah, Leopold Aschenbrenner, I think he's like this German-born wunderkind. He basically bet heavy on AI. That's it. He launched this fund, situational awareness. He launched it in 2024. Had initially got backing for a couple $100 million. Wrote some big AI manifesto. It convinced a lot of people that he knew what he was talking about. I mean, he did. He ran the fund up. I'm not criticizing him for that at all. But yeah, he got to I've seen various reports. I've seen 20 billion. I've seen 45 billion. There was leverage involved as well. He was 4x leverage. So I don't know what the actual AUM was. I suspect it was probably closer to between 10 and 20 billion notional. Or sorry, margin levered to bring it up to something like 40, 60, 80 billion. Who knows? I've seen no 2 articles seem to be claiming the same. Then the twist in the story, the funny part is this week Ken Griffin in Citadel starts calling for a surprise rate hike. Now, the way I've written it here, it's a little bit sensationalist, but you know, I guess the angle that I'm coming at it here is that he knew the rate hike wasn't coming, but maybe wanted to stir up some trouble. At least that's the rumor going around CT, and it's an interesting one to explore, right? Because then that causes the AI trade to unwind a little bit. Market starts panicking. People start de-risking in advance of a potential rate hike. A rate hike that probably wasn't going to happen, but you know, people are risk averse at the end of the day. They want to make sure they secure their bags, especially when these AI stocks are up huge on the year. So yeah, I think a lot of AI stocks drop like 20, 30, 40, 50% in a week. You know, you imagine if you're 4x leveraged on your whole account, you can imagine what's going to happen. So he gets margin called. He's forced to liquidate his book. He sells in one massive block to a single seller. And who is the seller? Citadel. it transpired that the seller is Citadel. So, look, you can put 2 and 2 together and kind of arrive at your own conclusions. I don't know how much of that story is... That's the rumor going around. I don't know how much of that story is 100% true. But it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I mean, if that happened the way it happened, then yeah, it really shades of like GCR and Luna back in 2022 when Luna crashed and GCR covered his risk at the bottom after shorting the Pico top. Was he betting on up only all the time? Why didn't he sell earlier? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he obviously hit this huge number and he was probably set for life, and his investors were probably sitting on 20, 30, 40x, whatever it was. I think I saw he was 500% year to date or something. 450% or 500% year to date, just before the crash. Crazy returns. Guy obviously made the right bet and just held on to it a little bit long. That's probably it. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. I did see that even yesterday when the market dipped, he was looking for new capital because he was, he was saying it's a good buying opportunity. And probably a little bit of panic in there as well. Obviously, not great to see your fund drop 80 or 90% in value. I don't know what they bought it for on the dollar. Cents on the dollar, I saw people say 40 cents, people say 30 cents. He was too green behind the ears. Yeah, maybe there's an element of lack of experience there as well, but the guy is still probably worth more money than anyone in this stream. I actually cover stuff better than 90% of CT journalists. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's good. He had big puts running too. Did he? Well, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm piecing this together from articles that I read on the Wall Street Journal, Reuters, then some stuff that I saw floating around CT. So I mean, I didn't pull this out of my asshole. It's like this is the way that I put the story together from various sources around X. But it's super interesting, man. I mean, if that's true, if even half of that is true, it might be the most interesting story of 2026 so far, at least with regards to the tech AI trade, right? Moving slightly away from crypto for the moment, but yeah, very interesting if that's the way it happened. Might be if Ken Griffin did half the things that he that he apparently did here. Yeah, shades of GCR. What's up, Fabio? Good to see you, bro. How you doing? Jump back into TradingView here as we come 5 minutes till the open. How are people feeling? Let's look at BTC just before we ring the opening bell and see what we're dealing with here. So yeah, I have a few BTC markups to talk through. Maybe we can update them slightly. That's not the one I want to... Yeah, so I want to revisit this one from Wednesday. We spoke about BTC approaching FOMC. FOMC came out and it was, unsurprisingly, we got the 66 or 67% likelihood choice or outcome, which was rate pause. This is now the longest pause. It's the longest pause since 2008, I believe, or to the 2008 cycle. Fifth meeting in a row that rates have been left unchanged. But if you look at Polymarket and things like that, they're saying that it's what, a 60%, 65% likelihood that we get rate hikes before the end of the year, in around that number. So I mean, people are betting on it. People are betting on hikes. People are betting on a tightening liquidity regime. And I spoke about this yesterday on the breakdown with Thomas. I said that I think a tightening is coming. I think a tighter liquidity regime is coming. I think the AI trade, the tech trade, is going to unwind towards the end of the year, as it was. We're already seeing shades of that now. I think that equities are going to pull back. I think crypto's going to take a hit, and I think that's going to be our market bottom towards the end of the year. And I think the 4-year cycle is still intact. The people are Or. Who's Or? What's up, What the Fox? Good to see you. What's up, Mariamina? GMGM. We're live on YouTube. What's up, Dom? He was only using rookie 4x leverage and he still got liquidated. He should have made on. Yeah, he should have been using 100x. That would have helped. Yeah. What's up, Lutz Dev? Good to see you, bro. What's up, Victoria Sheppel? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, we're live on my X, on Kraken Pro X, on Kraken YouTube, and of course Twitch. Will NQ continue up only? I was interested in NQ because you know, Kraken Prop has NQ newly listed along with Breakout, of course, which we spoke about already. So I was curious, why isn't that loading? So I was curious as to whether this is delayed. What's the best ticker to chart NQ? You're gonna follow the move after half an hour. You're waiting for the market open. That makes sense. US 100. You can tell that I've never traded it in my life. Yeah, I may be seeing that Jonesy's killing it. We may have to borrow some ideas off him. Dude made 7 grand shorting NQ yesterday. I think he's trading on Breakout. So yeah, we obviously have the ability. We have the ability. It's not US 100, is it? It's XTZ. No, that's Tezos. What's up, Gorlami? Good to see ya. How you doing, sir? Meme Downey candle. Oh yeah, we're approaching the open. You jump back in. Six, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're gonna get it this time. And New York has opened. There we go. It's XYZ. Why was I typing in XTZ? So 5x leverage, max position size is 0.5 mil. That's not bad. Probably won't need anything quite so severe. Yeah, not a chart that I've ever traded before. We may have to take a trade on this at some point, though. If we see something we like. Probably need to do a little bit of charting on this first and a little bit of paper trading to figure out how it actually works. As I said, I've never actually traded indices before. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. BTC is about to give us all some financial freedom. Yeah, I think so. What's up, Keynote? You think we're gonna get a bearish NY session? I hope you put Florins on that bet. Because the Bulls were way in the lead this time. You forgot to bet. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so hard to be bullish here, isn't it? Like, the market is really giving nothing. It really is. It's tough being a bull. And I tried it in July. I think my patience is exhausted, especially when it comes to alts. Really not a lot going on to the upside with alts. Apart from a few select outperformers. Pump looks really good. Like XPL, near. Very, very uninspiring charts. At least towards the latter half of the month. Pumps continues to look really good. The thing I like about Pump, and we can look at the markup that we did. I thought we had our demand zones marked here, maybe not. The beautiful thing about Pump is it is just respecting demand zones. Boom. Boom. So you would expect that if we do this, something like that is likely. Altcoins have been terrible. Yeah, just not a lot to trade. You're riding a scalp and it took break structure away high fast. You never close the trade. Nice. It's a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. Yeah, I don't know, man. It looks good. I just haven't had an opportunity to trade it. Haven't really been trading it, if I'm being honest. I remember trading Pump back last year when it launched and losing a lot of money. That's my pervasive memory of Pump. It looks pretty good here. Like, I already spoke about this rounding bottom type structure. It's obviously a ridiculous chart on a higher time frame, but I said XPL looked good as well, and look what happened there. Isn't that our range? Something like that? Mid-range? Boom. Something like that. I can see it. Reversal came early. Oh, Kaido, yeah. Kaido was a chat request that we never got to. I'll do that. Please talk about Uni. I have no views on Uni. What views should I have on Uni? You tell me. I don't think I have any. Kaido. Bruh. Sorry, why is this thing... I think I have Kaido somewhere. I have some from the airdrop. Like $1,000 worth or something. Why is this thing pumping again? I don't understand this. I thought it was dead. What's up, Shark? Why is Kaido pumping? I'm out of the loop. AI? What specifically about AI? I genuinely don't know. Financial freedom by making us free of our money. Yeah, exactly. By making us free of our finances. Is it something to do with Robinhood? I don't know. I genuinely have not paid attention. I haven't even seen it on my newsfeed. Maybe that's a failure of my ability to curate my newsfeed, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything, if I'm being honest. Where is the entry here? Maybe something like this. If we're looking for a retest here. Something like that. It's not the best order block. So you kind of draw this as your... These are your lows. And then, you know, maybe we see something like this. that in a second. Something like that. This is obviously very speculative, but I think if you got something like this, it would be, I won't say an easy long. It would be a long. Something like that. The net point being, you would like to see a little bit of range bound price action here. Wouldn't be bad. Reload. Something like that. Yeah. Very, very speculative. I'm pulling things out that, you know, aren't in the chart, but if you saw something like that, there's an opportunity for sure. If you see some kind of reaction, some kind of construction after retesting 0.08, 0.085, yeah, I could see it. I could see it being a long. Nice hat. Thank you, Victor. Sent to me by the kind souls in Kraken. I had to request the extra merch pack. They sent me the basics. And I said, bruh, gotta send me a cap. Gotta send me a cap. Thankfully, they had one. They had one in the warehouse. AI-powered Web3 information platform. No, I know what Kaido is, but why did it run recently? Driven by the AI narrative. Okay, if it's pumping because of AI, then I don't really like this setup anymore. Because I think the AI, it's the same as Nier. It's the same as, what else dumped because of AI? We were looking at another coin on Wednesday. What was that? Can't quite remember what it was. Another AI coin in crypto. What was it? Open Claw. No, they sent me a mug. Oh, that was it, DJ and Gambler, yeah. It was WorldCoin. It was WorldCoin. The one that scans your irises, right? One that scans your retina. Good old technology, huh? Messy open. Nothing to trade here, as far as I can see. Yeah, messy. But yeah, I like that. Okay, who? FET. Bro, is that coin still alive? I am uncertain about that coin. I thought that coin merged with Ocean and Ajax to create something. FET is dead. I thought it merged. I genuinely thought it didn't exist anymore. Did it not rebrand? Messy. The Irish commentators kept saying that because we say messy a lot in Irish. Like we say MESSY, like oh, that's messy. That's messy football. But obviously, so the Irish commentators made that joke a lot. That's just messy football there, and I don't mean the Argentinian player. And you're just like, okay, it was fun. It was funny the first time I heard it. Maybe not the 17th time. They didn't send me a mug. I don't have. This is Sports Direct, bro. Kraken, you can send me a mug. That would be okay. OGs, no. If you're from Ireland or the UK, you know what this is. It's the you can't. Maybe it doesn't look that big because of because I'm a large gentleman, but this thing is. You can put a pot of tea in this. It's. When you move into a new house, if your friend from the UK or Ireland is moving into a new house and you want to get him a gift, Sports Direct mug. If you're a man like me and you like a big cup of tea, Vic added a limit, BTC short. Where's he looking to short? Oof, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. H12 H1 main analysis. What is H12 H1 main analysis? Did I do H12 H1 analysis? I don't think I did. Did I? Maybe I did. Uni is what the people have requested. It looks similar to VVV. So VVV is an interesting one because we covered it on Wednesday. Said I was looking for longs if we could reclaim the range low, and it looked like we were reclaiming the range low. Since then, we're down about 6 or 7 or 8%, and it's looking a little bit hairy. The thing is, I have no desire to long alts in this market environment because dominance is ripping, BTC looks uncertain, ETH is pumping, which is never a good sign. It's usually a sign that the rally is coming to an end. I'm very uncertain about the stock market. I think it's close to a pullback. At the start of July, I said to myself, we're going to have some good conditions for trading altcoins. And to be honest, we didn't get them really. Got them on a few coins. LIT. Zcash had a nice pump at the start of the month, but everything's retracing now. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great, and I'm happy to just sit in my hands. I took a hit. I lost about 10 or 12K trying to long near an XPL. I think I took 2 stops on each, so at that point you just have to maybe tell yourself that your read on the market isn't necessarily correct. Your water boiler is a Sports Direct mug over a Bunsen burner. Is that I'm unsure. We're attempting humor here. The beat chart. What's the beat chart? The investments I made yesterday are going to zero. Did you make them in good coins? Chroma mugs are very robust. I'm Irish. You thought I was Dutch. I'll take it, but I don't think I have a Dutch accent. Messi is trending after being declared a terrorist by Russia. Is that true? Oh, the coin that FET merged into is just called FET. You know we're cooked when we see ETH pumping. Yeah. God damn. Is this a short? I hate shorting these coins. I hate shorting coins that are already down. Oh my goodness. I hate shorting coins that are already down so bad. It really is like how much tail risk are you willing to accept? This looks like a short to me. La chanson de quoi? If we could just run that high. Where is that high on other exchanges? How are we looking on Kraken? Yeah, okay, it's basically equal high on every exchange. Okay, so let's not get too excited. Let's wait for that equal high to get taken. How about that? What was this? 11th of February, 12th of February. Durov was declared a terrorist. I saw that. I saw that. Is that related to Messi? Or you guys pulling my leg? Did I hear about the cold card exploit? I didn't. I didn't hear about the cold card exploit. What is that? Okay, we're hopefully gonna get something like this. Oh man, that would be nice. Something like this. And then we'll call this. Resistance resisting. Something like that would be really nice. Oh, it's not related? Okay. He showed him the finger. I saw that. I saw that. Can I look at the beat chart? Yeah, Uni looks like a short to me. I hate shorting coins that are already down so bad. But I can't deny that this looks like a short. I mean, I'm taking a decent chunk of PA here. This is going back to February, so it's not like this is an ultra low time frame setup. I just don't like shorting with these equal highs here. I would like to see one more pop up. Whether we get that is anyone's guess. Very tough for me to short with equal highs here. Seems BTC will close the month in the green. How do you look at that going into the new month? It doesn't make any difference to me. I look at it in, you know, in the same way that I look at any other. I know it has relevance for certain higher time frame traders, but other than that, for me, it holds no special significance. I think that candle closes in general. It's one of the reasons I always say, like, do I not have a yellow? I should. Like, candle closes in general are a bit of a psyop. Because you can literally have, like, a break of structure on the M15. And then you go to the M20, and it's a liquidity sweep. And then you go to the M25, and oh no, it's a break of structure again. And then you go to the M30, and no, it was a sweep, and now it's a big SFP. And it's like, if you're the type of trader that takes things too literally, and you're flicking around time frames, you're just gonna get giga confused. And you're gonna be like, what are the markets actually telling me here? Now I understand that's just like a limitation of candlestick data, right? It's just a data set. I've spoken about this a number of times in the past. It's just a data set. It's up to you to interpret that data and to apply it in your own trading in a way that makes sense to you and adds value to your analysis. But I think that, you know, you always have to have that in your mind when you're looking at candlestick data, and you know, especially when it comes to like any kind of rules around candle closes or you know, or breaks of structure or something like that. So if you have something like this, right? You have something like this, and you have a guy, and this is coming off, let's say, the back of a big uptrend, right? So you have price coming up here, bump, 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 you know, something like that, okay? And then you get this price action, and you know, literal Larry, our good buddy literal Larry, sees that the candle closes down here, right? Candle closes below this low, and therefore it's a valid break of structure, right? But maybe it just closes by this much, right? Maybe it's literally like it's, you know, fractions of a percent, and it's really something that only exists on like one time frame, right? Maybe it's just a break of structure on like the M15, the M20. It's just a liquidity sweep, and like the M10, it's just a liquidity sweep, right? In that circumstance, price is going to come back up here. Maybe it retests this supply zone, gives a reaction, and then he's going to be like, oh man, break of structure, retest supply zone that's at the OTE fib. This thing, the reversal is confirmed. I'm max shorting here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm targeting a full reversal. And what happens is price retests this demand, which is actually validly formed, and does this. Right? And continues higher. And he's like, what? But my analysis said this, this, and this, and you know, I thought it was gonna go down, and what's wrong? Like, oh, the market is so stupid, and the guy's gonna get annoyed, and he's gonna crash out, and he's gonna say, oh, everything I learned is wrong. No, brother. That's just, you had a wrong read on the market because you interpreted the data too literally. You looked at that tiny, tiny run of the low, and you said, okay, well, that's a valid break of structure because the candle closed, the body closed below the wick, therefore. But you didn't take the broader context into account, which is that, first of all, we're in a big uptrend. Okay, you need more confirmations than that to determine conclusively that it's a break of structure and a trend reversal. And second of all, if price just closes the candle below, like, that's a weird, isn't that a weird heuristic to have, right? If my candle closes here, it's a break of structure, but if it closes here, then it's a liquidity sweep. Like, it's not black and white. It's not 0-1. It's not on-off, right? There are levels to this thing. There are gray areas. It's very discretionary. You have to use your kind of analytical capabilities in order to draw conclusions that make sense in the broader context of the market, right? So a trader with experience might look at that and say, okay, well, technically, even though the candle did close, it's not actually a valid break of structure because it doesn't show break of structure on this time frame, and in the broader context of the market, we're still in an uptrend. The uptrend looks intact. I think that was just a liquidity sweep before we go higher, and sure enough, that's what we get. And actually, nothing about this structure is broken, because if you go back to the start of the price leg, this is still, what would it be? It would be here, 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 and here, right? And this then becomes internal structure. Those become internal highs and internal lows, not relevant. Not relevant to the swing structure on that time frame. Right? Does that make sense? Week off distribution, yeah. Thanks, Microsailor. That's good input. It applies to the current BTC situation in terms of in terms of the structure on like the H12 and the daily. Yes, it does. The important low was not breached yet. Technically, yes. Technically, yes, but we're getting very close. We're getting very close. Technically, yes. The important low, the low that led to the last high. Because someone asked me that on Twitter. They said, hey, bro. Said, hey. We broke structure. Is this not a break of structure for you? Well, there are multiple ways of determining structure, but this is not the way I determine structure. For me, for a swing point to be structurally relevant, it needs to lead to a new higher high or higher low, or lower high, or lower low in that market structure. So sorry, that sounds a little bit complicated, but bear with me, it's not. If you're in an uptrend, so that's higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. In order for the structural swing point to be relevant, it needs to lead to a new external high or external low. A new higher high, a new higher low. A new higher high, a new higher low. If it doesn't, then it's just internal structure and it's not necessarily relevant on that time frame. So here's a good example. Right? Let me make this green. You guys can see a little bit better. This low leads to a new higher high. It is relevant. This high leads to a new higher low, leads to a new higher high, leads to a new higher low, leads to a new higher high, leads to a new higher low, leads to a new higher high. Now, so far, the low that we've put in here it's still a higher low. The trend is still intact. Now, that might be about to change very soon, but it's still technically intact, right? So in this structure, you look at these swing points. I mean, sure, they're relevant in a sense, but they're internal structure. It's not relevant for the external structure of that time frame, right? It's relevant for your analysis, but only in certain ways, right? It shouldn't be the thing that determines the skeleton of your structure. I'll put it that way. The frame of your structure, the framework. So with that in mind, the bullish trend, the uptrend is still intact here. You're right. You're right. You're right, Demambo. But might be about to change, like I said. Break above, break below. That's the structure, yeah. If we reverse here, we would call this late downtrend structure a bull flag, yeah. Leave behind an inefficiency for displacement. What does that means? That after a move going higher, then it's a break structure. So yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying that that's a break of structure for you. I don't like that terminology. I think it's confusing. For me, the only thing that is a break of structure is this, right? That That is the only thing to me that is a break of structure. Because to me, break of structure implies change. And it implies a reversal, it implies change, it implies turning around and going the other direction for price, right? But I know that a lot of guys, and there's nothing wrong with this. Oof. A lot of guys say that each of these is a break of structure. I just don't like that terminology because I find that confusing. That's not really how I learned it. But there's nothing wrong with that. Sure, it's bullish, but damn, BTC looks ass. Oh yeah, it completely does. I've actually said that already. BTC looks ass. ETH looks ass. The alt market looks ass. That's confusing because the structure is the uptrend. I think it is confusing, but a lot of guys, a lot of ICT purists use that terminology. I learned a lot of my price action from phantom trading, and I believe they use that terminology. They call each structural liquidity objective. They call that a break of structure, and they also say Sevantancho. Svetancho. Thank you for the follow. They also say a sweep. A liquidity sweep implies a reversal. That's also not what I like. I prefer a sweep just being the action of triggering the order concentration at that level. I'm doing a lot of hands this stream. We're doing a lot of explaining. A lot of hands, a lot of explaining. Do we call it for the bears now? I've Penev, thank you for the follow. Coinbase is down 13%. The coin token, I saw that, yeah. We love it. Hopefully you learn a thing or two. Do I have any thoughts on SpaceX? SpaceX will become an appealing buy probably later in the year or early next year. I still think there is further downside to go. Wait until all the unlocks are finished, or the majority of unlocks are finished. That's my advice. If you look at the unlock schedule, there's unlocks coming, I think, for the next like 9 or 10 months. Most of them will be finished in like 6 months, I think. Different names for the same chat, and that's another confusing part, man. We're gonna call it for the bears here. How are newbies supposed to learn when guys are saying, oh, MSB, BOS, chalk, structure shift, break of structure, structure break, structure shift, market structure break, change of character? It's like, bruh, just call it one thing, please. Make it easy. That's what I've tried to do in the syllabus, by the way, if you check out the structural section. I was very intentional on that. And I also had to spend some time explaining. GG the Bears. Also had to spend some time explaining that that other people call it this, that, and the other, but we use simple terminology. They can't sell courses if they're the same. Yeah, exactly. Says the guy who came up with IRDRI and PCSN and all these other fancy names. I like them though. I think there are nuances. I think there are nuances to those setups that aren't found in a standard PO3. But anyway, guys, wow, that hour flew by. Holy moly. How did we teleport to the end of the stream so quickly? But we're here. God almighty. I have 5 streams this week. I ran 5 streams. 4 streams for Kraken and 1 stream in the Discord. This is the life. This is the life of a professional streamer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them. We'll have a new show launching the next month, by the way. Haven't dropped any details about it. We're being intentional. But it's going to be another interview format show. It's going to be a little bit different to the breakdown, which, by the way, I hope you really enjoyed that show. We put a lot of work into that. Streaming with someone else is always fun but challenging because there are so many variables, so many things that can go wrong. So you're just trying to minimize those, and you're trying to make sure the stream is working. You're trying to make sure your guest, or in this case, your co-host, feels comfortable, is able to talk, and etc., etc. So many things to be aware of. We need you on a high note. Well, hopefully my energy levels have been okay this week. Hopefully that was reflected in the streams. A little bit tired today, but that's okay. We'll recuperate over the weekend and rejoin you all on Monday. So yeah, next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have 3 more editions of the Open. Then we have the following week, we're gonna have the breakdown, and then I think the week after that, we're gonna kick off the new show. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be I won't spoil anything at this point, but it's gonna be, we're gonna try and do as much deep diving into specific trading styles, specific traders, specific trading styles, how different traders look at the market, that kind of thing. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then at that point, we have 3 very different shows that are coming to you. Well, in the case of the Open, 3 times a week, and in the case of the other 2, it'll be once every 2 weeks. So yeah, happy days, boys. Lots to look forward to as we enter August. Of course, it is monthly close today, so please be aware. Please manage any open positions and expect a little bit of fuckery around the monthly Open, which is, yeah, really close actually. In, what are we on now? It's in 9 hours. 9, or no, sorry, not 9 hours, 10 hours, because we're UTC +1. Guys, we're gonna call it there. Thank you very much for joining. We will be back on Monday with the next edition of the Open. Yeah, thanks Grolami, thanks Denambo, thanks Balak, thanks Film Ninja, thanks Beerlac, thanks Sizz, thanks Marquise, thanks guys, thanks Dom, thanks Crypto Griffin, thanks Fur, thanks Marquise, thanks Nico. Alright guys, we're gonna call it there. Thank you for joining. We will see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend. Try not to get liquidated, and we will see you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Love you. Bye-bye.